Hello and welcome. My name is Joshua Tom. I am currently a CTE teacher at Quantico Middle High School in Quantico, Virginia. This video is the second in a series of videos that have been created to give you a video guide to DoDEA's new Biotechnology Engineering course. In the last segment, I discussed how and why the Biotechnology Engineering course was designed, how the vision for the course is one of a marriage of biology and engineering with a focus of hands-on problem solving and inquiry-based learning. A course where teachers are facilitators and students are apprentice scientists and engineers who seek to understand the biological world around them and use that biological world to solve real-world problems. I also addressed the course's overarching structure, how it's divided into 13 major thematic units, as well as how each of these units were drawn from the biotech industry, the science and engineering professions. In this segment, I'm going to define biotechnology, compare and contrast science and engineering in industry and education, describe how these two fields come together to create the Biotechnology Engineering course, and why this partnership of science and engineering is so critical to the successful implementation of the course. So let's dive in. What is biotechnology anyhow? Well, it's both cutting edge and ancient. It's one of the oldest tool sets that humans have used, as well as one of the most exciting technological tools of our time. This dichotomy is explained well in a great segment that I found on the Biotech Institute's website. It's an adaptation of a similar explanation from the book Shoestring Biotechnology. I quote, "Both traditional and modern biotechnology share the same foundation, the use of living organisms to enhance crops, fuels, medical treatments, and a host of other tools that can help humans. The two schools of thought about what biotechnology is can elicit much debate. Whereas modern biotechnology manipulates the genes of organisms and inserts them into other organisms to acquire the desired trait, traditional biotechnology harnesses the potential of processes performed by living organisms, such as fermentation. Biotechnology is the science of this century. With its advances, we are on the first part of a great journey. Humans have expanded our understanding of the biosphere by journeying into space and exploring the depths of the ocean. We've not only been able to look at the surrounding universe and the depths below with the advancement of tools and techniques, but we have been able to live there. Advanced tools and techniques are now allowing us to look at the universe of atoms. Biotechnology is utilizing the sciences of biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, computers, and information technology to develop tools and products that hold great promise. Humans have spent thousands of years selecting and cultivating the best traits nature has to offer. Now, with the help of biotechnology and nanotechnology and a host of other sciences, we are able to harness these traits at the atomic level to develop safe and beneficial crops, medical treatments, biofuels, and household products." I love that definition, and there are a few key words that I would like to repeat to you. Use, enhance, tools, manipulate, harness, living, science, advances, journey, biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, information, technology, product, beneficial. These words dovetail with our vision of the Biotechnology Engineering course. Some are words of action: manipulate, harness, enhance. Others are fields of knowledge essential to biotech: science, biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, information, technology. Still others are end results, the goals of biotechnology engineers: product, benefit, advance. The words that are left: use, living, tools, journey. They paint for us a picture of a biotechnology engineer, or one who is on a continual journey while using living tools. That description really helped me wrap my head around what biotechnology is. But it was a lecture from the MIT OpenCourseware that helped me understand the difference between biology and bioengineering. In his lecture, What is Bioengineering?, Professor Douglas Laufenberger, the head of MIT's bioengineering department, said that there are 4 stages in the science and engineering continuum. The first step is to measure the phenomenon that we observe. We have to be able to quantify something in order to study it. The second is to model the phenomenon, to define it and be able to predict it. The third stage is to manipulate the phenomenon, to be able to change it in some way. The first 3 stages are science, but it's when we move into the 4th stage that we move from science to engineering. The 4th stage is making, to produce something reliably using the phenomenon as a basis for the production or design. In these 4 steps, measure, model, manipulate, and make, science and engineering are part of the same continuum. Biology becomes bioengineering when we take a biological phenomenon and we can measure it, model it, manipulate it, and then use it to make a product. Why am I spending so much time defining biotechnology? I think that these definitions help explain why we designed a course that lives in those 4 steps of the continuum: to measure, to model, to manipulate, and make. A course that cannot function without both the science and engineering aspects. A course that is by its very nature different from the normal science or engineering course. If you walk into corporate America and look for a science lab or engineering department, you are most likely going to find them right next door to one another. Oftentimes, you will have people who were educated as engineers doing the research and scientists doing the development. Their degree might say chemistry, but they are designing a system to recycle old tires. Or their degree may say aerospace engineering, and they are studying the physical properties of graphene. Many times, these combined facilities are simply labeled research and development, where the lines of science and engineering are blurred, but they are all part of this same continuum of measure, model, manipulate, and make. In contrast, if you go into the average high school, we find something very different. Science and engineering are segmented into departments, and they are rarely co-located or share the same physical space. The departments do not share the same set of teachers, certification, or funding. They compete for students, and there is friction and even resentment when one department gets a refreshment cycle of equipment or textbooks or facilities. I guess what I'm trying to say is this: science and engineering do not enjoy the same symbiotic relationship in education that they do in industry. Educators, both teachers and administrators, think of science and engineering with a different mindset than most scientists and engineers. To educators, they are 2 separate entities. Why is it that we teach these 2 sides of the same coin in such isolated fashions? The average science class focuses on the measure and model aspects of the continuum and presents students with units of information and then reinforces those chunks of information with laboratory activities which are used as a device to let the students touch and see the scientific theories and natural laws, to be able to measure and model the world around them. The lab then makes the unseen seen. The majority of the labs have predetermined results, and getting something other than the correct result means that you did not follow the steps correctly or that the components of the lab were faulty. I remember in physics class, my teacher had us playing with slinkies in the hallway to help us visualize waves and the movement of waves under various conditions. That made waves real to me. I can measure and model them, and it was a very cool lab. But when we had filled out our paperwork with observations and notes, we all turned in the same results, and in a few days we were on to the next field of study. Science courses in education are always pursuing the next principle, topic, or element with the application of what has been learned contained in a footnote. It is a very rare curriculum that tasks the students with the next steps of make and manipulate. In contrast, most engineering classes at their core are all about manipulate and make. They are a continuous stream of problems or puzzles for the students to solve. Students are repeatedly presented with problems that they are challenged to design and implement a solution to, and then evaluate that solution. If there are 30 students in a class, the problem may be solved 30 different ways. In an engineering class, how a student solves the problem is not as important as the fact that there is no longer a problem. They have made something. For instance, the bridge held up when the truck went across. Problem solved. It's irrelevant that the bridge was made of duct tape, cardboard, and cost more than the combined GDP of Europe, but, well, okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. But it's closer to the truth than what most engineering teachers would like to admit. Because these classes focus on results and not details, many of the specifics of the methods, principles, laws, and theories are glossed over. The measure and model sections of the continuum are the footnote here in the majority of most of the engineering classes. Again, just like the science department, it is a very rare engineering curriculum that asks the students to design and solve problems and holds them accountable for understanding the underlying science principles that allow their solutions to work. You could be saying to yourself, Josh, this is a gross exaggeration, or Josh, you're just plain wrong. And while I agree that this is not true in every high school across America, I do believe that it's closer to the truth than fiction. And my hyperbole serves to highlight the two extremes of each of the educational philosophies. So back to the purpose of my criticism of the current state of science and engineering in our educational environment. My point is this: the biotechnology engineering class cannot survive as only a science class, nor can it survive as only an engineering class. It must have a balance of both educational worlds. It must contain all four components of the science and engineering continuum: measure, model, manipulate, and make. As the Biotechnology Engineering course is implemented with all four parts, it will create a classroom with an atmosphere that is closer to what happens in industry and the oft-quoted real world. We think that this is a very good thing, but it's by no means an easy thing. Science teachers will find the open design concepts of the engineering class to be very scary and uncomfortable. The engineering teachers will find the hard science and facts and theories and natural laws to be overwhelming. The course was written with the hope that the class could be co-taught by a CTE teacher and a science teacher. But we understand that that model will not work in most schools, but we think it's ideal. But don't worry about that yet. There will be videos dedicated to addressing the needs and concerns of each type of teacher and how our pilot teachers have overcome their fears and worries and implemented a successful course. The first step is buying into the concept that this course is something new. It is not just a science course, nor is it just an engineering course. It is an integrated STEM course that practices the ancient and cutting-edge field of biotechnology engineering and challenges our students to measure, model, manipulate, and make using biological phenomena. One of the exciting side effects has been students who cannot wait for biotechnology engineering class to start, and they have expressed that science has never been this engaging and that engineering has never seemed this exciting. So these are the things for you to consider as you embark on your own journey with biotechnology engineering. Just know that we're here to support you and your students as you make this bold move into what could be uncharted territory for you, your students, and your school. But it's a journey fraught with hard work and great reward, and we are excited that you are traveling with us. I hope that this video has been informative and thought-provoking for you. Thanks for watching.